Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now, this video is a topic that I've visited in the past, and honestly, I would regard this as one of the best YouTube videos that I've done on this channel. I'm very proud of it. But yes, I've been thinking about doing it, like doing a video about this for a while, and I was like, you know what, tonight, let me just do it, because I'm interested. I want to speak my truth. So there's not really much of an intro to this video other than it's about AI again. Yeah, going back into AI, and this time adverts. So I am a bartender. So I was at work, and you know how, well, if you work in hospitality, there are lull hours, there are dull hours where you're not really doing much. You kind of just stare into space, trying to find something to do, trying to be busy. And I just like to, so in our work, there are like screens which are just like show adverts about, football, this app, and like, just other adverts in general. And there is one advert that I keep on seeing, I'm like, ew, I don't like that. And I don't like, well, there's two adverts really, but I'm going to concentrate on one. But essentially, there's this company called eToro. I don't really know what they do. I know it's about money and stuff and investment, I think. Yeah, so I've been looking at their adverts. I'm like, this is weird. I don't like this. And then I realized, oh, it's AI generated. And not in the way like, AI slightly, it's AI generated, using generative AI. The bad AI. Not, the AI to help people and workplaces, the bad one. And I'm just like, it's just been leaving a little sickly feeling in my brain. And I just don't like it. So I've just decided, I'm going to rant a bit about this silly advert and just how, it just irks me out. But like, when I was younger, I used to love looking at adverts. Like my mum would be like, why are you looking at the TV? It's just adverts. I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, I just used to love watching adverts on the TV. So I feel like I understand how iconic adverts can be. Okay. For example, I'm going to try and show some iconic adverts. But like, for example, I've got my screen here. So I'm going to like go through some of these adverts and like how just iconic they are. You've got like the Money Supermarket advert with Sharon Osbourne and like Dave, and him walking down the street in like these booty shorts, and like that got everyone's attention. I'm like, whoa, great advert. That's how you get people's attention, especially with something as boring as Money Supermarket. And I think everyone knows John Lewis and their iconic adverts and how like they're so emotional. And I literally just watched the Long Wait one, and it was the one where like this child's waiting on Christmas, and you think, oh, he's waiting to get presents, but no, he gives the present to the parents and stuff. And it's like, watching that, I was like, damn, it's still got me in my feels. And it's been 14 years, well, since this video was posted, but like, it's been a long time since that, advert was on TV, and still gets me in the heart. And John Lewis have been like very good with adverts as well. Like people have like applauded the quality of their adverts at Christmas time. Like, come on. You got the Nike Nothing Beats a Londoner, and like how many celebrities there are on that advert, and just like how cool and how it just like shows London as a whole, and like what it about, what is London and all the different types of things and sport. And it's just like great advert. Like, wow. This is intriguing me, and it's an advert. And then you've got like the George at Asda advert where you have the kids rapping. These last two ones that I'm talking about, this one and the next one, are like music. The way the advert is really good is how the music is. And it's like kids rapping, and it's like, whoa. I know it's kids rapping, but it's still a solid advert. Like when they do the dot the I's and cross the T's, oh, it's just great, lovely. And then last of all, the Hex Bug advert. Now look, iconic. I feel like everyone knows this, especially in the UK. What's that coming over the hill? Is it a hex bug? It's a hex bug. I think back in the day, I don't think I've really heard of the actual song, but that advert is so iconic that like I would sing the hex bug instead of a monster. So like, gotta say, iconic ads. Even like Lely Kelly, I know, the theme of that song because it's such an iconic song. So speaking of that advert, right, I'm like, yeah, praising them and all of that. Then you see, this is the advert I'm talking about. You're going to see this eToro advert right now.
When you invest with eToro, you start seeing investors everywhere. eToro really is everywhere.
Join more than 40 million people worldwide and invest anytime, anywhere with eToro.
What is that? What is that? Like, I'm sorry, but it's just like, I see AI and I just feel like it just feels weird. It's uncanny valley, and like even me saying that one is uncanny valley. eToro, I think it must have been like a year ago or something, they got slapped because they didn't advert right, and it was even worse than the one that I just showed you. Like, I'm looking on my computer now, so I watched it, and obviously there's this Medium article, and it's a members only one, but if you want to read it, it's actually, you know, a good read, and it kind of explains how, just basically like behind the scenes of stuff, and like, you know, why it's so bad that AI has been using adverts. Just looking at the advert, like, I can literally see on this screen, you've got like, you know, the eToro advert, but like you can see the jumbled up writing on the announcement board and how it makes zero sense in the slightest. The faces as well, you can tell they're such like AI faces, and look, some of them even look like so plastered on. Like at one point, literally, there are flowers which are taller than the person. With like generative AI, especially if they try and do like scene transitions in the same sort of place, they try and like make it so it looks original but also makes sense in the last scene that they do. I don't really know how to explain it well, but like essentially these flowers are massive, right? Because it literally goes on to the next scene, and then you have like this statue up ahead with like flowers underneath it. Normally you would do it as a shot, you know, your camera would be low down, the flowers would be in the base level, and the statue would be on the top. But because AI doesn't really understand that that's how it's supposed to be done, they film from like the human angle, and it's just big flowers to try and get that last shot to make sense. And it's just like, that's not how you do it, mate. That's not how you do it. I just feel like AI cannot really create or even begin to like conceive some of the ideas in those iconic adverts. Like, I can't see AI trying to make, you know, the Cadbury's eyebrow adverts. I can't see them trying to make an advert with like superstars and stuff in this Nike advert. Like, I can't see them making such an emotional advert of, you know, a child waiting to give their parents presents and going through like season and season and making it look natural and making it appeal to the human heart, which, you know, with Uncanny Valley and stuff like that, you can't really do that. Like, you can't really try and get people to connect with an advert which is made by AI and lacks the soul that people who think of these adverts, they can connect to on like a human level because they're human. Duh. I just can't see it. And there's a quote. So the quote was on The Guardian, and it was like a quote by and it's by the chief of one creative agency. And essentially, I just don't really know if I agree with like especially the last part of this quote. But it says, "You can often tell a pure AI piece of work 1,000 yards away, glossy, very idealized and slightly plasticky looking," the chief of one creative agency says. But that will change. You hear creatives saying that AI is never going to come up with something as brilliant as, say, a gorilla playing drums for Cadbury. But I'm not so sure. AI will eventually become fine-tuned enough to react to the quite left-field conceptual prompting. I just don't agree with the bit where, you know, it's going to become fine-tuned, because AI, especially in generative AI and how it learns, it's off the back of creatives, it's off the back of people producing work. It could be off the back of this YouTube video if, you know, AI looked far enough. I just don't see AI being able to think that creatively. Like, even, you know, when people ask that AI to count to 100 and stuff, and I just don't see it, because it's just like they don't have that human creativity. They don't have that boldness to go and be like, you know what, children rapping while walking into school might work. Dave strutting out of a car and twerking on people and strutting the street might just work. A gorilla playing drums so excitedly in a Cadbury's advert might work. I don't see it, because AI lives off the back of other people. And I feel like, you know, the adverts that do that, they can't think of that, and they can't go sort of a left field where they don't really have like a direct inspiration. It's just, you know, I feel like this could work, this could be iconic. And yeah, it just irks me that like I just can't really see AI, you know, bringing themselves. I can't see AI learning enough to be able to think of something so out there that it could work, because the whole reason why people think it's out there because it hasn't been seen before, or that idea hasn't been created, and AI lives off the back of creating people. That's my point. Okay, that's my biggest point. But yeah, I just don't like the AI ads. And there's also this one with Elf Bar that I see in my pub all the time, and honestly it annoys me as well because I know it's AI and it's just, oh. But yeah, look, that's been my video. I used to love adverts, so I feel a bit passionate about this, but I just feel like, yeah, you know, hire people to do your adverts. Don't do AI adverts. Don't do AI pictures for your, you know, company, whatever. Like, hire people. Come on. Like, save the arts, save creative people, save the people who, you know, could bring you lots of money. Just try and stay off AI. Think of your own things. Like, God. But yeah, it's Edison Joel here, but essentially, since I've been editing this video, there has been adverts from both McDonald's and Coca-Cola, which are both AI. If you really thought that, maybe, you know, companies will be like, hey, this isn't working, maybe we should not do it. No, they're doing it more. And they're celebrating the fact that they're doing prompts and being like, oh my god, we spent so much time doing prompts. Like, it's getting worse. The AI slop is getting worse. Watch out. Keep an eye out, because it's getting worse. We need to crack down on these companies. But yeah, that is a little bit of an update, so I love that. Great job. Great job, big corporations. Love you. Love you. Anyways, that's been my video. Like, comment, and subscribe for one non-AI advert appearing on your Instagram feed. I will see you in my next video. Peace.